Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is what we're going to make today. This is my challenge to you for Wild Rose Bohemian, and this here is kind of, we'll call it, I don't know what we're going to call it, but my challenge to you is each of the design team members, well, Sheryl and Rose and Lady Owl and Sheryl, Kim. How could I forget Kim? They all have sovereign bonus pages with their videos, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to give a nod to them by using bits and pieces from each one of their kits, each one of their bonus pages. And so that's my challenge to you, to make something and combine something from each one of their bonus pages to create something. And what I decided to create is this today. And what that shows for me is that we're all a team, and as a team we work together. So that's my thoughts on it. So I have got this guy here. Now I only printed on one side because the thought on that is this here is going to get glued onto a page, and that means that this is going to be a tuck this way, or you can put it a pocket this way, whichever you so desire. But that was my thinking on this. So the first thing that I thought of was Sheryl and her envelopes. She's so cute. Anyways, so what I did was I printed these off 4 to a page. So these are the envelope parts, and these are the back parts that you would have normally gotten like this, so that you could write on it or create a little pocket in there. But I decided to do a little different, and I went with, let's see if we can get this thing to stick down here a little better. And this, oh yeah, this part and some of the other parts actually come from yesterday's freebie that I thought, well, let's combine everything. So we're going to, first off, I'm going to put my pockets in here, but I kind of like to do them a little like this. But I like this one. I really like this one. And you know what? It doesn't matter. They're all adorable. Right? Okay, so all I did was take and put just, yes, a little bit of glue here. And now this glue is going to take a little while to get down. I should have had it upside down. There we go. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. And I'm going to put in the description of the video all the information, where you can buy these kits from, what the hashtag is for this month, and if I can figure out how to do it, a link to each of the girls so you can find it easily. Everybody has been doing such a wonderful job. I just thought that it would be nice to have a little nod. So you can space these out however you want. This is how I'm doing it. And just a little. Now, as you can see, I did not glue down the, these will be really, could be really one long pocket. You could glue it down on the bottom if you wanted. I didn't want to because I like to have that. I like that it can go all the way down. And then I'm just going to take and glue. Oh, this one looks a little off. Why are you off? Let's just move that a little bit so it's not so obvious and give that just a hint of a trim. we go. And we're just going to take and there we go. Okay. Now, let's give this. This for me is going to not really be a page wrap. Or it could be if you wanted it to be. But mine is just going to, like I said, be a tuck on a page. Okay, did I get enough glue in there? Yeah, okay. And then we're just going to put this on here like so. And then we'll put the little, I'm calling these little letters, and we'll put those in there once that's dry. Oh, and there's Nugget. Didn't want anything to do with me before. Okay, so then we have, let's do here. So I did some backing on a couple of them. So I've got these. Now you could take and cut these off, but I kind of like them. So I'm leaving them on there. And you know, he's not going to shut up until he gets in here. He is the cutest little boy, but I tell you, you close that door and it's like, how rude, how dare you lock me out. Okay, you just want to make sure that you, and I'll show you why I'm doing it this way and why I chose not to back. Oh, I think this one's too short. Oh, that's good. Okay. Most of this is the only part that's going to be seen. That's why I chose not to waste my ink on something that no one's ever going to see. Covers up in place. Away from there. Yes, it is. All right, let's give this a little trim. I spent a little time this morning and I got my desk nice and clean. I even have a candle going because now I don't have to worry about starting anything on fire. Oh, you know, when you get busy, you can just really make quite the mess, I tell you. Okay, we're just going to add a little snip. This a little snip. And this here. Okay, anyway. So now we have these. So then I took these pockets. I'm gonna put these away. Now we don't have to worry about this one because this is going to get glued onto my page. So we don't have to worry about this. We just have to worry about these two. And so what I did is I did them like this. So I'm going to take off of this one here. I'm going to take and cut this off because we don't need this. And we're just going to put this, I want that to be just a little over above. I can see I could have inked around there. We'll do the inking in here after. But this one gets glued down completely. Get some glue there. Might have missed that spot. I'm just going to give it kind of half and half. So it looks like it was made to be that way. Okay, and now this one We could put these together, but we're not going to. We're going to do this one. I like this. And so then I just take my, you could take your bone folder, your scoring board, do that. But I'm just going to go like this and pull it up. Give it a nice little crease. For those of you who don't have a bone folder or don't have a scoring board, it's nice to have all the tools, but it's not necessary. Okay, so I'll fold those back over. We kind of have our somewhat crease there. And let's get rid of this. As you can see, I do it every time. Work myself into a little corner. Get rid of that. Okay. And I'm trying to keep my space large and clean. And that itself is a task. Okay, so that. I think we're going to do it like that. No, let's do it like this. I think it creates a bigger, I don't know. I don't know if it does anything or not. I don't know if it really much matters, to be honest. Okay, and I'm just going to, geez, you don't even really have to ink too much here, do you? Those beautiful papers. I have been playing with my Sophie Spring collection, but oh, I just couldn't resist this one just for a little bit. And then I'm just going to stick this on here like so. Back in the screen here. So everybody having their big dinner tomorrow, or we're having ours tomorrow? Okay, we're just going to line that up like that. And that'll stick over a little bit. I'm okay with that. There we go. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Now we can this. These are just about the same size, aren't they? Yep. Okay, so let's take and cut this off of here. Like so. Okay. And then we're going to glue it around the edges here. Okay. Line this up to be about the same height as this, and staying away from that crease, giving ourselves that little border in there. And then we're going to take our ruler again, out of my way, Now you could just take and make it easier and do it this way. My little Dollar Tree tool or Dollarama. I don't remember what, I think it was Dollar Tree. But I find sometimes I press too hard and then I rip my paper when I do it this way. Grandpa and Nugget are fighting. He does kind of rule the roost, I tell ya. Oh. I think they might be going outside, and I think Nugget thinks he's going for a car ride. Oh my goodness. Okay. This one. Oh, I need a little trim there. There we go. There's a little inky around here. There we go. Trim off this little corner here. There we go. And then let's get some glue on this. I have messy church tonight, and that we're doing a nice Easter meal for the families in the community that attend. It's always a fun time. And I'm just making sure that it's lined up here and here and off of our crease. There. I'm just going to give this another. Okay, so now let's turn it this way because we have these two guys to do. Oops, oops. And we are going to put these two little pockets in here. And I'm just going to do the same thing with these as we did before. I guess I could have done that off the screen, couldn't I have? This mat came folded in half and it's got this permanent crease in there, bump. It's a little annoying, I find. But I do like my mat. It's nice because it just has that little bit of cushion on there, so when you're doing this kind of thing or when you're stamping, you get just a nice right amount of cushioning. And I think so. Okay, these guys can go off to the side for now. Like so. And again, I'm not going to worry about inking these because they're pretty nicely inked. One less step you have to watch me do. Okay, I'll get some glue on here. These Sugar Bell bottles are the best. If you got any kind of issues with your hands, carpal tunnel or anything like that, they're really good. I had some nerve things happening a while back, and it was really hard on my hands. And so I found those on Amazon, and that was a really good thing. It really helped. Okay, and then I am going to put postcards in there. So I want to make sure that my postcard is going to fit in there too. So we're going to do it right about there. Get in there. Get in there. Get down. Get down. Get down. What are you being stubborn for? Now my glue is drying. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to put it right about there. And right about there. There. Okay, I can see this little piece here is going to bug me. I'm just going to give that a little bit more of a snip. There. Okay. So then I'll put this away for now. We'll put that in there in a bit. This area here. So then we have this. I think it's so nice. And so on the other one, what I did was I put it, so this all folded in. But I think, I don't want to hide this. But I really like the contrast. That's pretty, but that's pretty. I'm torn. You know what? Let's do it. We're going to just do it with the dark side showing. And again, we're just going to take and crease. No, I guess we're scoring. I don't know. Yeah, scoring. We're going to score here. Now with the other one, oh, I forgot to show you the other one in there. I forgot to show you what I put inside there, I think. I don't know. Did I? I don't know. It was like 10 minutes ago. Get this out of the way, this out of the way. We'll grab this guy. Did I just crease this one, didn't I? Doesn't seem like I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, it just doesn't want to. Okay, there we go. It just didn't want to fold too nicely for me. There we go. See, that looks pretty. I really like that. Okay, so, but I like that too. I like that for the inside, but this looks pretty too. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, this guy here, what I did with the other one was I put paper in here and stitched in, no, I stapled in, made a little notebook. But what that did was it created it to be quite thick. So I think on this one, I'm just going to leave it and maybe put a little I don't know, something in there to give it something that serves a purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it down here. I think it needs a little ink here though, doesn't it? Just hide that white. There we go. Okay, and so I'm just going to take and make this a pocket. And I'm just going to and then we're going to kind of line that up right about there in the center a bit. Okay. I'll let that dry. Okay, and then with the other thing, we're going to let's do this. Let's get our, in with the other, with the gentleman, with these ones. These were the pages that went like this, so you could fold them up. And I decided to make pockets out of them. So I am just going to snip my corners, and I'm going to use that one there. And then while I have them out and together, because I forgot that part, I'm going to put a little divot in here. Kind of line it up the best I can. And we're just going to, yeah, like so. Like so. Okay, now this I will ink a bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now, this one here, I kind of want that to be a little shorter. So I'm just going to, this one's okay, but this, they don't have to be even, but we're just going to cut off a little bit off of this one. And hopefully I do it straight. Just so it's a little, there we go. There we go, okay. My glue is starting to be unhappy. I think Grandpa took puppies for a car ride. That's what was going on. Because it got awfully quiet in here. Not that I'm complaining, by no means. And we're just going to put this right here. Okay, now I am going to put this on for, no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to. Okay, we're going to let this all dry because we have one more thing to make before we decorate. Yeah, that envelope there, that looks better or feels better. So this other thing that I made was I made this into a pen. Now this also comes with the, comes on the sheet that has this thing on it, this envelope, and this is in Sheryl's, her little sovereign bonus pages. And so what I did was I just took, I know this has a different purpose, and I thought of a few different things to do with it, but then I thought, oh, a pen. So what I did was I took this guy here, my crocodile, and I went on the largest hole because my pen that I have, this piece is fairly large. And I tried the smaller one and it didn't work. I had to make the bigger hole. So then I just kind of punched it kind of sort of right in the middle as best you can. And then when you put your pen through here, when you get your pen through here, there we go. Like so. And then I put a paper clip on it because I thought, oops, I don't want a big one. I thought that would be, I thought it'd be nice to have it hooked on to be able to put it onto a page. So I put the larger one on the back and I put it on the widest part here. And that is so that it doesn't show through. Doesn't show through. So then I took my glue, and this one I need bigger amount of glue. So I just took and started gluing. And I want to make sure I glue that paper clip down. And then I want to make sure that I glue the pen down. So that you can just kind of move out of the way. And like so. And we'll just put a run of glue on this too. Because why not? Okay. And then just line it up. Now, if you have a little smaller pen, that would be nice because it does kind of deform her face a little bit. Oh, I see what, there we go. And just kind of make sure that it's nice and everything is glued down. And do these pins right? Of course they do. Of course they do. Not even that uncomfortable. If you could take and just do a little divot in here where the hands or your fingers are going to go if you wanted to. But other than that, they work pretty good. And we're just going to make sure, I'm making sure that that paper has surrounded the pen so that we know that it's going to stay in place. And then I'm just going to take and ink just to give it a little bit of, make sure everything is nice and glued together. And that's not going to move. It won't. I could have taken and rounded these corners off. I didn't think of that until right now when I was looking at it. But there we go. That pen is good. Okay, so let's start decorating. So I picked these postcards and I just did them exactly as is. And I thought those are kind of cute. And what I did was I don't know if this is going to work. I made these little guy. This comes from Lady Owl's, her stuff. And so I put these to 4 to a page, and then I made them like they're like a little stamp. Put a little postage stamp on them. Now you could take and cut those a little smaller, make the smaller stamp too. I don't have my scissors out, but you could take and just And did she cut it straight? No. Oh, that was such a simple task and you couldn't do it. My goodness. Now, just because the face is gone on this doesn't mean that you can't use the bottom part as a stamp too. And if you had your stamps that show the little ring like your postcard or it's gone through the mail, you could put that on there. Here. This is a cute little bunch of roses. So yeah, we can have roses on the stamp. Right. There we go. I see the boys are all back now. This one here. That might be just where she's going to go. I can't tell whether that's going down all the way down to the end. There we go. There we go. Use some force. And then this one here, I think maybe we'll just use a full one. Here. And then from Kim's kit, she had these adorable little pieces. So what I did was I put them together and I made them so that they're like a little notebook. I didn't ink or do double faced on them or anything. I just thought they would look good as that. And then here's one of those gentlemen. Let's put him in there too. Why not? Why not? And then our little pages, or another thing that I did was I took these I did these 4 to a page too, and I made them these tiny little postcards. So you could put those in there, or you could put these little pages in there. Either way. Fold it nicely though. So on the other one I did them this way. And they look good that way, or they look good the other way too. You can put them in there however you like. Maybe you don't want to put those in there. Maybe you want to put something else in there. These are like little hidden, like little letters to yourself. Or a postcard. Yeah. Okay, so we got this done. You could put a little decoration there. I had cut out these. And with one of my pens in here, I just put like a no nonsense thing. Let's put 5. Let's put 5. Okay, this one, why don't you want to write? This one, oh, that's a still wet one. That's why. It's still moving around there. You don't want to do that. 535 7. 535 7. That made a lot of sense, didn't it? Oh, well, we could put a number on that too. This little number there. So it looks like it meant something. Don't be afraid of using your own handwriting or scribble or doodles. There. All right, so we have that done. And then these guys here. So with these ones here, that one I believe is from Lady Owl. like so. And well, let's put her in there. Okay, and then in here, there's these little gems that come with them. I don't want to cover that one up, but we can put this guy on here. And what else have we got in here? Should we put another number in here? Sure, why not? Why not? Make it 457. Like it means something. And we're just going to put it right up here. Okay, and then I think I'm done glue. I think I'm done with the glue. I'm going to put my lid on there. Now, we can put the postcards in here too. And maybe we'll put all three in this one. Kind of stack them up like that. And then I have these. Now these here, and I'm going to use the yellow ones. You know, I mentioned somewhere that I collect these and I use them in my journals for little pieces of ephemera, or little, you know, like we're going to use the yellow ones. And so I now have quite a few because they were being saved for me, which is awesome. And let's just we'll do that. Now let's put it this way. That's kind of the way you have it. Not that it matters. There, just like so. And then we can put this gal, hopefully she's dry enough, right on here. So that is my team project. Let me just go and clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I forgot one very important thing. Now, this was Rose. She gave these to us just because, and she felt very uncomfortable doing these because it's a collaged page, and I don't know why. She did a beautiful, beautiful job. Beautiful job. And there's one more, and I put it in this guy here, in here. So let's pick one of these, and all I did with these was I folded it in half. And then I took my ruler did that, and then I did fold it in half, and basically it just becomes, it's a little piece to write on, but it's pretty. And I think we're going to take from the top, and we're just going to take it right about here, I think. Right about there, like so. And then with this one here, I take it from the top as well. When you think you're all done, you're not all done sometimes. I'm just going to do this about the same. Yeah, do that, and then I took my handy dandy credit card. Not credit card no more. Not even a hint of this one around anymore. But they come in nice and handy for this purpose. So you can pick your sides. Okay, And then I just took and put, you can ink around these if you wanted, but I'm not going to. And then this here. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, another thing you can do, is that piece down there. There we go. Let's see if we can just get that piece to cooperate a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Sometimes it just likes to catch on that piece that you glued up. There we go. Now, what I did on this one was I did take and I made it like a little tag. I'm not going to do it with this one. I'm just going to leave it like this because I think that's done and I don't want us to get too long-winded. But, and there we go. And we're not doing this side because that's going to be my flip, my tuck spot. So it's going to look pretty awesome in a journal, I think. So that's your challenge. Grab something from everyone's sovereign freebie bonus page, whatever you want to call it, and make a little project using everything. So it looks like a team project, we'll call it. Alrighty, so there we go. Have yourselves an awesome Easter. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet, give me a like, a thumbs up, and maybe a comment. I love reading the comments. And if you're not subscribed, maybe you might like to. All right, have yourselves an awesome day. Thank you very much.